Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Omniscient Reader or Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Chapter 307, and we are only 4 chapters away from being on hiatus. It was confirmed to me that Chapter 311 is the end of Season 1. It has ended for people doing Fast Pass and stuff. So, you know, we're going to be on break, and as we're on break, I want to say already, thank you for being here, thank you for supporting, thank you for your comments and everything. All of that's been really, really great. As we're on break, I may not make a video every single week for Omniscient Reader. I'll probably, again, it depends. If it's a really short break, if it's like, you know, we end, and by the time I end, it's going to be 4 or so more weeks into the future. By then, we might have already got an announcement that it's coming back. Heck, it might have even come back at that point. So depending on if we get an announcement that's like, yeah, no, it's only going to be like a 2-week break for us. If we get an announcement like that, then maybe during that small break, I won't make anything. But especially if it's going to be a long break, I'll probably do some reviews, some discussions. Again, people have asked me if I would do like a discussion or something with some other creators, and I would love to. I'm terrible at organizing things, so I would love to talk with some others. I know there's at least, does Animosity cover Omniscient Reader? I'm not 100% sure. Probably. Animosity does a lot of webtoons. But there's at least like Pyro and Roncan, whose stuff I watch and follow along with and stuff. So I could at least try to get them, but again, I'm terrible at organizing things. Do not trust me with this. But there are things I'll do if it's a long break especially, but maybe not videos every single week or anything like that. I have so many other things I'd like to make anyway. But yeah, very close to going into a hiatus. But as for now, let's start reading. I enjoy where we are. It seems like where we are, though, a lot of people have said, I don't really know how they end this arc in the next 4, so I'm assuming they aren't. But where we ended, we're going to have maybe some more Jungkook fighting back. Dokja maybe wakes up at some point. Dokja fights back. I really think that the Starstream will step in at some point and be like, you know what, we're just giving you the Demon Lord title because it would be less embarrassing for us to give you the win and say, you know what, you did win the last round, than it would be to carry on with what's going on now, is how I think it's going to go. But I don't know, and also you can never tell with ORV's pacing. Sometimes, a billion things happen really, really quickly. We just run through a bunch of things happening. Like a large portion of time handled in one chapter. And then sometimes, as a lot of the chapters lately have been, we still get a lot. But as far as time passing with the lot that we get, not a lot of time passes. So for the next 4, we could just be having a bunch of fighting, really, and struggling and such. So we have No. And going 3rd stage Transcendental, I think. I can't die. Not here. This isn't where I die. And again, great moment for Jungkook being like, I will, you know, if I do die, I get to come back and try again. But because of the changes that Dokja's had, I'm not going to just let myself die. I am going to fight and scratch and claw and pull out everything. So, this isn't where I die. Shirya smiles. But in the end, it's nothing more than a human story. The freaking circles look so cool. Alright? Foolish human. You're in no place to stand before a god. It looks like a barrage of light. Very cool title splash. Very cool looking, and I love the forearms as well with Shurya's design. The design in so many ways is just so awesome. Again, just looks so cool. Chapter 50, Dokja's Story, Part 9. So, I wonder if we will stick with Dokja's story to the end, or if it'll change to chapter 51. It'll probably be chapter 50 until the end, but we could get something that's almost like, you know, an epilogue or a wrap-up that's like the last 3 or 4, or last 2 to 4 maybe. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire is enraged. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire is enraged. Constellation Queen of the Darkest Spring feels pity for Incarnation Yoo Jung-hyuk. Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband points a finger at the cowardly constellations. Many constellations express discontent with the constellations on the battlefield. Again, this is going to end up looking so bad for them that I think they have to just give the win to Team Dokja. And is this Bihyeong hand? It's very white. What on earth is going on? It is. Okay. The second round was clearly won by the Yoo Jung-hyuk Kim Dokja Industrial Complex. It was a close call, sure, but there was no doubt about it. So why aren't you announcing the winner? It's the management center's decision, we see Baram. And then Great Dokubi Candidate, Baram. Okay, so being introduced this time as a... I think this is the first time they were introduced as Great Dokubi Candidate, right? But Baram, this is a main scenario. Since when... I just love all the little Dokubi designs, they're so cute. Since when has the management center interfered in a main scenario's progression, especially one involving a colossal story? You are well aware of the consequences of doing something like this, aren't you? So tell me, who's behind this? Was it one of the higher-ups? Are you saying you suspect the Great Dokubi? Well, who else could have pulled this off? Bihyeong, get a hold of yourself. Why would they ever do something like this? Who knows? Maybe they got paid off or something. Bihyeong, the consequences of interfering in a scenario of this scale would be more than even the Great Dokubi could bear. Then who would dare do such a thing? And we have a huge rumble. This is the sound of plausibility shifting. No way. That's impossible. Do you see it now? It happened. By the will of the star stream itself. Okay, so the star stream itself, I'm getting goosebumps, is sentient, at least somewhat. That's absurd. There's no other way to explain it. Then, why do streamers even exist? If they can't stop a ridiculous progression like this, what are streamers even good for? Bihyeong. Streamers may be the storytellers of this world, but they are still merely a part of the story. And this story has already slipped out of their control. Then there's only one being we can trust now, he thinks. Many constellations fix their gaze on one constellation. And they all look to Dokja. This serious, tense scene. Just completely broken by the slap. From Biyu. Just beating him. Pulling his hair. Screaming in his ear. I love Biyu so much. That's so adorable. He opens his eyes and sits up. Where am I? Is this an industrial complex? This doesn't look like a stage in the mythic battlefield at all. And we have a bunch of people who've been killed and maimed. Dokja? Biyu. You've got quite the slap, huh? Bah! Bah! Did the constellations arrive? Yes. Currently determining the winning team of round 2. So, they still haven't announced the winner? No. And then we have Hayoung and Yusung, then Hyunsung. But, where's Jung-hyuk? And we see Skybreaking Masters there too. And we see back to Jung-hyuk and Shurya. I can sense the statuses of multiple constellations. And we see all of them. They managed to escape here, even against constellations like these. That means... And we have Jung-hyuk fighting. You've got to be kidding me. That moron. Dokja? The fourth wall trembles faintly. Mister, no. Don't go. You'll die if you go there. He runs off. Kim Dokja thought to himself, is there any way? I'm putting 3 million coins into stamina, strength, agility, and mana. Your overall stats are increasing abnormally. The coins you invested have exceeded the scenario's stat limits. Overwhelming plausibility partially lifts the stat restrictions of the scenario. Stat growth is being adjusted based on the amount of coins invested. Your mind cannot withstand the evolution of your incarnation. Personal skill, the fourth wall has been activated. Okay, fourth wall is being activated to try to protect him from just how he's jumping his growth way too fast. Your incarnation is evolving to a new stage. I've been putting this off until the very last moment because it's not very efficient, but I have no other choice now. After the early scenarios, overall stats don't have much impact on battles because stories, stigmas, and skills play a far greater role. Okay, so he hasn't been changing his stats because he's been focusing on the other things. But in a situation like this, that's a different story. Your overall stats have surpassed 200. What I need right now isn't powerful skills. Your incarnation can now withstand a higher status, but a strong body. Your agility reduces air resistance. Your mana unlocks blocked meridians. Your strength surges explosively. Chungkyuk! And he charges in. And we have his incarnation cracking, kind of like we saw Dokja's before. Okay. And we end there. That was a really good chapter. That was so good. And we're having, like, if both of them being, like, the co-owners of the industrial complex get to be Demon Lord here, we're having the, like, ally in life and death here. It's so good. We have both of them standing up. And really, I feel like at this point, even if it's life or death, even if they all die, I feel like with the way they were telling him not to go and with how loyal they are to him, I feel like his allies at this point may also start showing up. Like, not just the ones that are here, but even the ones that we haven't seen here, even ones that are off somewhere else. I feel like people will start showing up to help just because it doesn't make sense to me that in a life or death fight like this, where Yusung's like telling him not to go, telling him not to run, that they wouldn't be like, if you're fighting here to the death, we're fighting with you. So we're getting these two, but I also think the others can jump in. Okay, extremely good chapter. Really good this week. But with that aside, I guess that's it. So I guess I'll go start putting together the video and all. I don't know what else to say. So if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my first thoughts and reactions. Subscribe for more ORV, much more on the channel. If you want to help support the channel by sharing around or dropping a super thanks, it's really appreciated. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a member patron, it is appreciated. And you get your name at the end of videos and One Piece Bingo early. Just hit join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. Thank you so much to people who are already members and patrons. Thank you so much to chosen regulars, Evan Hawley and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, DD Bin and Maru, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pater Deal. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.